it's Nicole from Nicole Loves Nails. Welcome to my channel.
So keep me in your sight, 'cause I can do this all night.
So today's video is for a new collection from Sally Hansen. This is their 2023 Peeps collaboration collection. I feel like there's been at least 2 others of these. I know there was one last year, but I feel like there's been at least 2 others of these Peeps collections. But what makes this year's collection particularly exciting, well for me at least, this year the polishes are textured finishes. Like, woo! I love textured finishes. So I ended up purchasing these from my local CVS store, and when I tell you, I was shocked and appalled at how expensive these polishes were. So I paid $7.29 for all the polishes, bringing it to a total with tax $54.27.
Damn!
Never in my life did I ever think Sally Hansen polishes were going to be $7.29. But anyway, this collection is starting to pop up online, and I have checked both the Walmart website and the CVS website, and for whatever reason, these are all significantly less expensive online than they are in store. So if you want to pick these up, I would highly recommend picking these up online and not in store. I even did some math, and even with shipping, they're still less expensive than I paid in store. So before we get into today's video, I do want to mention a couple of things. The first being, if you are new around here, hi there, I am Nicole. It is wonderful to meet you, and thank you very much for clicking on today's video. Do consider hitting subscribe if you enjoy nail polish related content. I upload new videos every single week featuring a mixture of indie, mainstream, as well as boutique nail polish brands. I also go live every Sunday. If you're in fact a returning subscriber, welcome back. How are you doing? Just how's everyone's week going? I'm very excited for this clip. Like, I've already swatched the polishes, so I already know what I thought of it, but like, I love textured finishes. I love them, so this collection was very exciting for me. So as always, down in the description box, I will have links to where you can purchase these polishes, links to the Sally Hansen social media pages and their website, my social media page, I'm saying this all out of order, as well as a link to my blog post on nicolelovesnails.com, where I host all of my swatch photos and provide a written review. And of course, timestamps are also down in the description box. Let's just get into this video. First up, we have Blue Check. I would describe this one as a bright sky blue textured polish. This one had a really great but slightly thinner formula. I didn't find it difficult to work with, but I did find that it did have a tendency to run down the stem of the brush. The shade of blue is a really fun, I would call this like a springy, pastel-y, like a vibrant sky blue, somewhere along those lines. For my full hand swatches, I swatched this one in 3 coats. I do think it's likely going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your own personal preference. I liked coverage better in 3 coats. I found in 2 coats it seemed to dry down a little bit more sheared and a little bit patchy. If you aren't overly picky, it's definitely passable in 2 coats. Removal will of course be on the more difficult side. Soak this one off or use a peel off base coat. And now we have Classic Chick. I would describe this one as a classic Peeps yellow textured polish. This one had a really good but thinner formula. One more time, it does have a tendency to run down the stem of the brush, so definitely keep an eye on that. But as long as like you wipe the stem of the brush, you will not have any issues with your application. I love this shade of yellow. I really feel like this is the color of like the classic shaped Peeps. This one does seem to dry down a little bit more sheer than it applies, so I do think it's likely going to be a 3 coater. You might be passable in 2 thicker coats, but you know, I swatched it in 3 coats without any top coat. And now we have Cotton Candy, which I would describe as a textured cotton candy pink acrylic base with 2 different sizes of blue glitter. Cotton Candy had a really great but also thinner formula. It started off a little bit streaky, but I found it built up really nicely in 2 to 3 coats depending on how you feel about glitter. This one is on the thinner side, so it does have a tendency to flood the cuticle crevices if you are not careful. I'm not a huge fan of light pink bases like this one, so the texture definitely is the reason why I ended up liking this one as much as I did. I don't know, this one just reminds me of colors of like a gender reveal party, and I'm just not really a fan of that. I swatched this one in 3 coats, but it is definitely passable in 2. I just wanted more of the blue glitters out. Here is Cotton Candy with 2 coats of top coat. I was really curious to see if these could potentially be smoothed out, and you definitely could do that if you wanted. Next up, we have Marshmallow. I would just describe this one as a white textured polish. In case you couldn't tell, all of these polishes have the exact same formula. The level of texture between all of them is also the same. They feel very gritty, very sandpapery. This one also, on the thinner side, it will flood if you go in for too thick of a coat. I feel like this one dries down a bit more sheer than it ended up applying. Like as the polish is drying, you're getting more of the texture. I feel like I was able to see a lot more dark spots on the nail. Kind of thing doesn't bother you. 2 coats will definitely be passable. It bothers me quite a bit, so I swatched this one in 3 coats, and that gave me perfectly even coverage. Removal, difficult side, do not scrub. Next up, we have Pink Bunny, which, you know, pink textured polish. This one had a really great formula. It did not feel nearly as thin as some of the other polishes in this release, but it was not by any means thick. I love the vibrancy in this one. Like, it was not a super pale pink, which I would not have enjoyed. I love the shade of pink so very much. It skirts the line between being like a light pink and a pastel pink. Like, I feel like it has this a little extra oomph. Coloring of this one does also seem to actually be the same color as like the Peeps bunny shaped Peep. Swatched Pink Bunny in 2 coats without any top coat. Removal will be on the more difficult side. Soak off method or a peel off base coat. Do not scrub. Next up, we have Purple Bunny. This is a lilac purple textured polish. This one also had a fantastic formula. It was a little bit on the thinner side, not nearly as runny as, say, Marshmallow or Classic Chick. As someone who constantly talks about disliking pastel shades, I want to say I love this one. There's just something about this shade that I just find very pleasing to the eyes. I swatched this one in 2 coats. Again, no top coat. I could potentially see those of you with super long nails needing a 3rd coat just to cover up any light spots, but I did not personally need to. And one more time, removal is going to be on the more difficult side, soak off method or peel off base coat. And the final polish, which coincidentally is my least favorite in this release, is called Party Cake. This is a topper that is in a clear base. You have white bar glitters, silver, white, yellow, and green hex glitters. I didn't like this one. The formula was okay. I just personally didn't like the hex glitters are very sparse, and I kind of feel like I had several spots that would have done really well having a bar glitter, but they were just more sparse. No matter how much shaking that I did, I just didn't get a lot out on the nail. You won't get full coverage with this one unless you sponge it on, but I kind of feel like that would be a waste of your time. It's not a bad topper. I just don't personally like glitter toppers where the glitters are super small and I still have to manipulate my brush around to get even coverage. I don't like that. This one does not dry down textured, but you will want top coat for a nice glossy finish, and removal won't be overly difficult. Okay, so final thoughts. I love this collection. I feel like textured finishes and crackle finishes, those are 2 of my favorite types of finishes, and I don't really feel like brands release polishes in those formulas too often. I feel like the last time I had a mainstream brand textured polish was the China Glaze Jurassic World. There were a couple of textures in there, and I love textures. Usually I will pick a favorite, but honestly, I loved all the polishes with the exception of the toppers. I'm not picking a favorite. Like, I love them all. I was a little disappointed that the topper wasn't actually textured. Like, I feel like that would have been really, really fun. And I also didn't love, like, the glitter dispersal. Like, it wasn't bad in there, but I didn't love, like, the glitter dispersal. Unless the glitters are particularly chunky, I don't like having to, like, move the brush around my finger to get the glitters exactly where I want. I didn't love that, but it wasn't a bad topper. Just like you have to work with it just a little bit more. If you would like to pick this collection up as well as support the channel, I will have some affiliate links in the description box to pick these up at CVS or Walmart. I will look around online to see if I can find any other links, and if I can, they'll all be in the description box, but you know, no pressure as always. Before we end today's video, I do want to give a very special shout out to my channel members, the besties. Just thank you all so freaking much for all your support. It really means the world to me. Just thank you all so much. And of course, your names are all on the screen right now. If you would like to join my channel memberships, I will have a link for that in the description box, but if not, that's fine too. Just hit subscribe, like the video, comment, share, all of the things, and like, we are good. I did see that we are getting very close to hitting 4,000 subscribers on here, which is like, very, very exciting. Just thank you all for watching today's video. I hope everyone has a fantastic week, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.